Go on the road then.
GitHub release pages. Oh, you can do it from Winget.
Sure, why not?
So
'Cause-
when I put it up on the desk, I like. Sorry.
Oh, somebody just realized that we're live.
Welcome to the CouncilCast.
Oh.
This is episode 124, being recorded on June 2nd, 2020. The council is now in session, and as with every week, we will make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit, with a little background and next to no expertise. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything at any point in time.
Bum 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 bum.
I think
Welcome
you just
to the new
stole
NFL.
part of an intro.
I think it's his. It's kind of like a cover, isn't it?
It's a cover of it. Yeah, it's fine. It's totally
You're right.
fine.
This falls within creative use.
Well, you know, this week we had some pretty exciting news with going to space. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, and SpaceX has officially launched the first private crew to space.
And
Can
it
I
was
just
dope.
can I just throw in one little thing here? All of our listeners who are loyal listeners know that the person in this group who would have been all over this is our man Matt, who always gives 2 thumbs up for space. And I just have to throw this out there because I found it very fascinating. I messaged Matt when I watched it happen. I was like, oh man, are you super excited to be watching this? And he messaged back, oh shit, totally forgot that was happening right now.
I was outside mowing and I didn't have my phone on me, and I completely forgot that it had been rescheduled for Saturday.
How old is Beverly?
But you were like, were we like 2 or 3 minutes late or something?
Yeah, as soon as I saw the message, you weren't the only one that messaged me. Somebody
really?
else messaged me about 20 minutes before you did, and he's like, dude, are you shitting your pants right now? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I saw yours, and then you had posted like a picture of them. I'm like, oh no! I ran into the house and I started it up, and I was like, oh no, they're gone already! I had to rewind like 4 minutes and watch it from there. But yeah,
I didn't realize that you had been like, it makes sense that you would have T-voted or whatever you did.
Well,
But
I mean, it was a stream on YouTube. I could just go to the YouTube thing and
nice.
back it up.
Yeah.
I recorded it on my phone. I was like, oh man, just in case Matt's missing this, I'm gonna record it. But I sent it to him, and then I was like, what'd you think of my recording? And he was like, I literally didn't watch that at all. Like, so I held my arms like this for 15 minutes for no reason. My arms got tired, man.
Oops.
Right, Brian. How old's Beverly?
What's that?
Crusher?
How old Bev?
Like 100. I don't know. She watched it. I told her about it, and she's super excited. She's
She
super
was.
excited.
I talked to her after it, and she talked to me for 30 minutes about it.
Yeah,
30
she
solid
was
minutes. She was
super
telling me
pumped.
Everything.
She would have watched the
Super
first.
excited.
She would have watched the first man land on the moon, wouldn't she have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
it compare? Did she like the high definition?
She just thought it was very cool. I don't know. She just thought
Yeah,
it was. She said she had no idea. She said, I had
And
no
some
idea
of
that there
some
was
of the
anything
fancy
going up in
engineers-
space.
Some of those fancy engineers and NASA got together and made a rocket, and it landed itself and shot everyone. It shot those astronauts into outer space, and I just can't believe that rocket landed exactly where it was supposed to. Those people are so smart. They're just so smart. I tell you what.
We should have her on next week and have her talk about it. She'd be
Oh my goodness.
if we could get her to figure out how to use an iPad.
It is not
download
possible for
Discord.
us to fit one more Pipit relative on.
You know what we would do? We'd be talking to her forehead the whole time,
Like me.
or the ceiling.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be too different from talking to.
So,
I talked to her like an hour, like this. And I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just talking to you." Okay.
All mouth. All
Yeah.
mouth.
Like, what are you doing?
So I was just curious, watching this video. I'm surprised they picked khakis and a polo.
Actually, that was
Well,
probably my favorite
it's casual Friday, Brian.
Yes, yeah.
That was my favorite thing of watching these guys come into the space station was you've got 3 dudes all in these blue jumpsuits, and then 2 dudes show up in polos and khakis. It's like it's
Khakis.
casual Friday.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Like, that's amazing.
Belts. They had belts and everything.
I want to see that. I want to see the picture.
It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Casual Friday.
Khakis and a polo.
That's fantastic. So the thing that we were like most curious about, we watched them dock. We actually kind of watched that portion too. It popped up on Facebook feed or whatever. Watched them dock, and like immediately they dock. People are doing all their button pushings, and someone's holding the camera kind of haphazardly. And then Kayla goes, "When are they going to use the restroom? They're obviously going to take like a quick break here to like get settled in, but they go straight from."
No, part of the
All of our
astronaut training is you learn how to hold it for like 5
20
days.
hours.
If you can't, then you don't cut it. You're just not cut out
You're
to be
going to
an
have photo
astronaut.
ops, and you're going to have to hold your pee real long.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of the questions. That's the only reason I'm not an astronaut.
Yeah, you're in great shape. You're super smart. You
There
know
is a-
everything.
There is
No,
a
there's
book
Eat your
called
pants.
How to Pee in Space, I'm pretty sure. You can read
Man,
it.
Yeah, totally. The first astronauts had Ziploc bags. I'm not joking. They kept all of it in Ziploc bags. Why do you think they had the double zip on them?
Oh, is that where that came from?
The astronauts were like, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable with just the one zip."
Nah, they had those nice bags that change color when you're actually hitting the.
When
The
it
seal.
zips up.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff we use that we're like, "Wow, this is really well done," made for astronauts. That was
It's
it.
true.
We used it to keep our sandwiches in. They used it to keep other things in.
Other things in.
Poop.
So they're expected to remain on the space station for 1 to 3 months.
Yep.
I think that's how they introduced coronavirus to us. This will be here for about 1 to 3 months, maybe 6. We don't know.
And of course, what Elon says. All right, so now we can go to Mars.
Of
Yeah.
course.
It's a stretch.
Sure.
He-
He'll be there tomorrow.
The thing is, he said we can have an electric truck that will be the best the best truck in the world.
It won't look.
He
like
wasn't
a truck.
wrong. He just didn't actually set like a real timeline on it, right?
There you go.
Now we can go to Mars. Yeah, we
Go to
can.
Mars.
But when, Elon? When?
Well, they're going to hang out in the space station for a couple months and then come home, I guess. Nice job.
I like this. I'm really happy for him. I'm glad they made it up there. Glad there were no complications. Thumbs up.
Yeah,
Are,
it'd be
are
good to
they-
see
Glad
him
they
get
didn't
back
get
home safely.
Bit by a space snake or anything. Man, there are a lot of dangerous things in space. So
are they just waiting for like the right weather conditions in space before them to like relaunch back home? Or
they're testing out a bunch of stuff. Man, they're testing out a bunch of stuff.
I mean, I feel like this would be
it's
like
a pretty long trip. You know, when you travel a long ways, you really don't want to turn around and come right back. Talk about
yeah.
all the times you went to Spain, we're
I
in
just
space.
flew to India. I'm not turning around and coming right back. I'm going to stay there for a month or two.
No.
Check
See,
things
what I
out.
remember being raised on was being driven 12 hours one direction, having lunch with somebody, and going 12 hours back the other direction.
Oh yeah,
When
and what
was
was it?
this?
The snow uphill both ways. Okay, cool, man. That's cool.
No, they're talking. The limit is they don't know how long the solar panels on the Dragon capsule will hold up. So if it's getting worse, I guess they'll decide to just go back early.
Got it.
Well, it's very
Well,
cool.
that's actually
Thumbs up.
I'm glad that there's a real reason for like such a broad window. I'm like, when they know that just like we go up there for 14 days and we're coming back, or 30 days, or 60 days, but nope, they're
trying
just
to get
like
there as long as they can.
measuring how long before their equipment will fail and they won't be able to make it home anymore.
Yeah. Well, we
Kind of
waited
the same
one
way-
day too
Kind of
long.
the same way Silas budgeted in college. Let's see. I have only this much money left. That means I can only go to the bar this many times. Let's see. How many? All right.
How much plasma can I sell?
I guess I'm. Yeah. How much plasma can I sell so that I can make it to the end of the month? Great. That's how our astronauts are living. I mean, I had a lot more faith until I found that out. So.
Well, they did talk about there is one U.S. astronaut on the ISS right now, and so they wanted to have a couple more Americans hang out with him instead of just the 2 Russian dudes.
Does he speak Russian?
Probably not.
Oh,
Man, that'd be tough.
he probably does now.
That's probably all they do.
And that was enough work.
You've come up to space. We're literally doing nothing but teaching you Russian for the next 30 days.
Well, for him, he's probably been up there for like 6 months, so he has plenty
Seriously?
of time to learn. I don't know.
Yeah, how long do they stay up there?
Long time.
I get that it's a cool thing to have gone into outer space, but I was watching this thing. I was talking about the Earth and whatever. It's something with Will Smith.
381 days is the longest trip.
Somebody was on there, was interviewed about some amazing thing that she did as an astronaut, and she was up there for 4 days. I was like, good for you.
Whoa, harsh.
If you're gonna actually go to space, spend a week before you
Hey,
come.
thumbs up for the astronauts going to space.
It's only
Yeah, thumbs
space,
up.
guys.
Thumbs up.
Maybe going to space is going to help people 3D
Matt, how
map
many
their
how many
brain.
thumbs up do you give space?
Well, in this case, it was 4 thumbs up because 2 men went.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, snap.
This fancy zones thing is really weirding me out here.
Is it fancy?
Kinda.
Maybe not as fancy as a 3D image of your heart's brain. How many people knew that your heart had a brain?
I didn't. Show of hands. Everyone show of hands.
Wait.
Is that where scarecrows went?
Hearts.
Wait, who wanted the brain?
The
The lion.
Oh,
lion.
if I
No.
only
Lion.
lion didn't want the brain. He wanted a heart.
Oh no, the
We
scarecrow.
was, the Tin Man wanted a heart. The Scarecrow wanted a brain. Right.
If I only had a brain.
So we have 3D maps of the heart, and we have 3D printers.
You can 3D print a heart.
A heart's
Perfect.
brain.
There you go.
You made Quantum Leap look like child's play there. That was wow.
It's a perfect size. It won't work, but we can put it in the spot where your heart was.
I mean, if they 3D printed out of the right jellyfish material, it might.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, can you just take a jellyfish and squish it into a 3D printer? That would work.
You can.
Yeah.
But it's not advised.
And you don't even have to plug the 3D printer in because jellyfish have enough electricity to charge the printer themselves.
I thought that's what the electric eel was for.
I put both in there.
You can make electric eels from 3D printers as well.
Why do you use an electric eel? Well, because of
I got a 3D printed octopus.
What is
made it too fast.
brain? What does it do?
So this is some researchers apparently have been working on. So our heart is the article says primarily controlled by the brain and autonomic nervous system, but you have a backup. So apparently your heart has its own kind of mini brain, is what they're calling it, called an intracardiac nervous system, which
Wow.
apparently controls some of the more automatic signals that keep your heart pumping, so that you don't have to, think about pumping your heart.
So is this now? So men now
That's
have
interesting.
3 heads.
Sure,
Uh-huh.
makes sense.
So
So-
how did they discover this? Does that say? I don't.
So they've known about this for a while. The problem is they don't really know how it works, and basically because it's just a set of neurons. They talk about it being a set of neurons that's just distributed about the heart to do all of these different functions, and they weren't really sure where they were located, what they really did, how they kind of worked together, and so they started working on creating a map of the location of these neurons in a rat's heart. And they did it all in 3D to figure out kind of how it works. They created 750,000 images that they could assemble into a single 3D picture.
That's pretty crazy.
They used a bunch of they call it laser capture micro dissection to do the actual mapping. So I'm assuming they literally peeled apart the rat's heart and scanned it into a 3D printer.
Lucky bastard.
If you think about this makes a lot of sense for some of these things that do more of our automatic functions. And you think about why, how does it, if the brain is sending a single signal to the heart, like we're running now, and it goes, oh, pump faster, got it, and then it takes care of the rest. I mean, I don't know. It seems to make sense that there would be that. I mean, the nervous system is one of the most complex and the hardest to fully map. So I'm surprised that it's not surprising that they have got it's 2020 and they're just now kind of like mapping this part out because there's a lot going on there. So.
Well, they actually say that this is the second most detailed 3D image they have of a body part outside of the brain. So this is the only. Everything else is nowhere near as detailed as this yet.
This is a cool thing. I've been taking classes with Maya and Balik about neuroscience. And
we're not going to ask why. Not on air. That's too long a story. Keep going.
She said, I asked the question that could multiple body parts have control functions? And she replied that yes, she believes that every body part, like main sections, all of your organs have some kind of a control processor that would be like your heart's brain or your stomach's brain or that have small little processes and small functions that control each organ. And your brain sends microprocesses out to those separate processors, just like in a computer. So you have your CPU, which is your brain, and then you got your graphics card, which is running your heart or your lungs or your whatever. That's just doing.
Graphics card would run an eyeball, but keep going.
That runs all the separate processes, and
That's pretty cool.
Audio card, your sound card. She said that there's obviously stuff out there.
Dial card.
There are a couple of experiments going on out there, and this article, I guess, just references one of them that kind of proves solidifies the statement she was making. So
I wonder how long it takes to map something like this to have that kind of detail. It sounds like if you're taking that many pictures and you're peeling back a rat heart, I think it might kind of take a while.
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Get the right cheese grater.
Well, I'm just wondering why they haven't done other organs. Is it just because those two are the most important, or that's what spiked their fancy, and so that's what they did research on, or
Probably somebody got a grant to do it, and they decided that was what it
Grant,
was.
There you
grant
go.
money.
Grant money.
is exactly the reason why we only have these.
all
two.
right. Grant money.
I think it's a pretty
give it a
cool
thumbs
thing.
up.
I give it a thumbs up. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Maybe they could have done it faster though if they had this new camera in the Vivo smartphone in their X50 flagship, because it
Ooh.
apparently has a built-in gimbal system.
It's almost like we should say my camera also functions as a phone.
Here's the thing. I'm not interested in this. Aside from, that's nice, because the mirrorless cameras that I've been working with for 3 to 5 years now have had 5-axis gimbal stabilization. So they're just finally making a small enough version that will work with the tiny ass sensors that they have in cell phones. So
Yeah, I hate this phone already. I don't like the front camera position, and the rear camera is way too bulky. Just not a thing. Not going to happen. I don't put a case on my phone, and if it snags on my pocket, it's out the door.
So you don't want the
Yeah.
gimbal in?
I don't care. No.
Okay.
I just bought a gimbal.
I do like that they're putting gimbals inside of cell phones, though, and this is the reason why, because a digitalized version of the gimbal process is I don't think it's going to be several years before it's perfect. And the reason that's going to be several years before it's perfect is because the way that they're currently doing digital stabilization is by using a much larger image. So we would need 8K phones to really produce solid 4K stabilized footage. You need all that extra space for it to be moving around the edges. When you have 4K video stabilized at a 1080 frame space, it works a lot better because you don't have to worry about the edges. However, now you do have to worry about what's in the center of the frame. And so you just have it just takes a lot of computing power. So I think that the fact that they're trying to do a in-body stabilization with this 5-axis or whatever they're calling it, I think that is a good idea. But I think it's going to need to be much smaller before it's going to be fully adopted across lots of different phones because of Logan's reaction, which was, if it snags on my coat pocket, then I will never take it outside. Or something, whatever he said.
Like, oh, I'm not that fancy. I put it in my jean pocket. Right? Not a coat pocket. Not that fancy.
Oh, so this would be a jeans phone. So like you would have a phone for work, a phone for like casual, a phone for like going to run or doing the exercise.
You have a formal phone, a casual phone, a tux phone, a work phone, and then
How about just have a flip phone? Those things are indestructible.
flip phones are for angry texting.
I
You don't
used to have
fuck.
this flip phone that I would it sometimes wouldn't make calls to people because the reception was bad where I was at, and I would get mad and I literally threw it on the ground. Like, not once. This was a regular thing I did with this phone where I would just get mad and throw it on the ground. And I would pick it up and I'd be like, well, the call was dropped, but my phone still works. I just walk outside of this building that didn't have reception and make the call. I was like, I guess I stand outside in the cold and make this call. Yeah, you're right. Those flip phones were indestructible. We should bring back flip phones.
Now, I had a flip phone that when you opened it,
Yep.
which was the coolest phone I've ever owned, made the communicator sound from Star Trek. It was awesome.
Was it a
an awesome
digital
phone.
noise or a mechanical noise?
It sounded just like it. I know that I didn't just sound just like it, but it sounded just like it.
No, I'm
And it
saying
was
like,
the only phone they had at the store. I said, "What's that phone?" And they go, "Well, it's the only one we have is at this small town that we lived." And they go, and then they showed it to me, and they opened it up, and it made that sound, and I went, "I will buy it. That's what I want." That was awesome.
You could probably
Was
make your
so
phone
sad.
now do that.
No, not if it's not a flip phone. You have to have a flip phone because it's got to open.
It was literally the size of like my hand.
It was huge.
Open.
It was a full size phone when you opened it, but it
I mean,
was
they have Motorola has the new Razr. It's a flip phone.
it was this was awesome. This phone was just like a communicator.
he doesn't want a solution. He wants he wants nostalgia. Matt. He just
Yeah,
wants
I mean,
nostalgia.
if I can open this thing up, it'd be like blip, 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 just like you said.
What is it?
You know,
What's
you
the
could
communicator?
probably program your iPhone to make that noise every time you unlock the screen.
No, it has to be a flip phone.
This is a flip phone.
No, you don't understand that. It needs to be a flip phone.
Normal.
Picard did not have a flip phone. He had a little tie tack. He just tapped his chest and talked to people. Kirk had a flip phone.
We can get you that as well.
I don't need it. I had it, and then it broke.
Isn't that
and I
called
was sad.
Life Alert? That tappy thing?
Life alert. All right.
I like the idea of this in the phone. I mean, personally, I don't know if this is going to add a lot of a benefit that people are going to be like, I have to have this phone for this feature. But I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that they're adding new things. So thumbs down.
With the massive increase of bloggers out there, like vloggers, just I'm going to shoot videos and put them on Facebook through my phone. People, I think that this type of tech is a good thing, but I don't think that it's quite there just yet. So again, thumbs down for another reason.
I like that phone, and I think thumbs up because I would use it like on casual day. So I think it would be fine with my jeans, and it would work well. I think it's a good thing.
Thumbs up for the space article from earlier. I still like that.
Well, one thing you might not be able to do anymore is if you have a Texas Instruments graphing calculator, you're not going to be able to program in it anymore.
What?
That's pretty crazy.
Which part that you can program?
The fact that you won't be able to program it anymore.
Yeah, they're getting rid of it. They're getting rid of ASM, which is their assembly language. Basically,
how are these children ever going to cheat again?
Well, yes. I have a feeling that's probably why they're getting rid of it.
Is it really? Because it doesn't not have legitimate uses?
It does, but I think a lot of students use it for what you just said, which is cheating.
So yes, we should take away the useful thing simply because. Oh my god.
Yes. And so apparently if you have one of these calculators, if you have a TI-83, 84, and a couple other models, they do want you to update your software on it. And apparently once you do that, you can also not go back anymore. So if you do have one of those and you don't want to lose the functionality, don't upgrade your software.
That's ridiculous.
I love how Matt just had a old man moment where he's like, well, when I was a kid, our computers were able to actually do things, which is funny because most old man moments are like, when I was a kid, my stuff couldn't do things, and so you guys should just learn how to do stuff without being able to do things.
I mean, it's pretty shitty to take away.
Learn how to cheat with the cheat functions, and now they're taking away all the good stuff.
But it's
the
not.
calculator that I had when I was growing up, you could spell hello if you turned it upside down. But I don't remember if that was like 4, 3. I don't know.
You were gonna say it was your
1,
hand.
1, 0 or something like that. And you
What were you
couldn't
saying,
program that out. No update got rid of that.
What were you saying, Matt?
I don't know. I just think it's
I don't know.
shitty that they would take away something useful in the product
So
that
apparently
has legitimate use cases.
So apparently they'll still allow you to do some programming. You won't be able to use the ASM or BASIC anymore. You'll have to use Python or TI BASIC.
Oh, well, why is that a problem? If you can write in Python, you can write what the hell you want.
Because apparently they're slower and more power intensive, so they won't run as well.
Wow.
Have you finished your test yet? No, the calculator won't load my cheats, teacher.
Calculator won't load my cheats.
Well, I get a thumbs down because the calculator won't load their cheats.
Well, all you've got to do is just type 5318008 into it and turn your calculator upside down. You'll be fine.
Answer to everything.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I give this one a big thumbs down. I agree. I don't like the idea of taking this away for apparently no really good reason. So.
I mean, I just checked mine, and all of my old cheats are still in there. By that, I mean the games that I put on it because I would finish my test early.
Yeah, got to play all your little Snake games. I think I had like a Super Mario in there or something.
Wow.
Good times. Good times.
Good times.
You know what you probably can't do though is ride your bike to play any of those games on your calculator, but you can do it to play GTA on your computer, which is apparently what this guy did. So there's nothing like playing a video game than sweating. And this guy
That's what I always say.
this guy apparently hacked together a setup where he could ride his bicycle while virtually also riding his bicycle around in GTA.
Amazing.
Nice.
Impressive.
That's so great.
I guess it's maybe for all the people who have been stuck inside for COVID. You can't go ride your bike outside, so you go ride it through GTA, something like that.
It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
I think this is pretty awesome. It's pretty
I-
smart.
I was hoping that this was like an actual thing that I could buy because I just bought a bike and
What'd you get?
I don't know. It was like from the 80s or something.
So
What did
apparently
I
you
get?
can he does have it as a mod. You can download it and install it and run it if you want to set up your own system. You just can't
That's awesome.
buy it.
That'll really piss off my neighbors. Get the old rear mount back in, and he's just humming through the ground. You're pedaling.
He Grand Theft Auto'd. What?
Turn the volume up. And
Huh.
So funny.
This is such like, why?
I mean, why not, I guess.
I guess it's something to look at if you're going to do stationary biking. That's all I can think.
and it's
I
probably
suppose.
cheaper than buying those stationary bike programs that like match up with your bike and stuff. Like people, I mean, biking companies make mods, not mods. They make programs that do this, and you hook it up, and you have to pay for the app, and you have to pay for this, and you have to. It's just a bunch of money. But if you've already got a nice computer in Grand Theft Auto, why the hell not just do a cheap mod?
Yeah.
And
That's pretty cool.
I don't know. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Oh, so apparently for steering, you can set it to apparently automatically follow the road for you. Well, although drivers in GTA probably aren't the best, they might run you over. Or you could do it manually with your keyboard or gamepad. So you could be biking around and then with your keyboard or gamepad be trying to drive your bicycle.
Yeah, if you had your elbows on the on the post here and you had your hands out,
There you go.
I could see myself doing something like that
And what
because
can
I
you
am
do while you're
I'm good
riding?
at wasting time.
Can you ride it what?
Can you use a gun while you're riding the bike in GTA?
I mean, why not?
That would allowing me actually be able to play the game to the fullest extent while riding the bike. Like,
Can I just ask though, why haven't there been more? I start to ask the question I already answered. Why haven't there been more like real physical video game options where you wear some gloves and you wear some stuff and you're actually doing boxing, right? You're able
it's
to.
very expensive.
But why haven't they invested more money in that? I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that'd be something that you could really get a lot of people behind if you can bring the price down,
I mean,
and it would make it lucrative.
they have this type of stuff, but like it's just, I mean, it's the whole like, why hasn't VR taken off yet? Like,
Mhm.
it's definitely used way more than the other iterations. Like, there hasn't really been a large commercial push for VR for consumers, but like, it is just another thing. Like, on top of my computer that I have to buy $1,000 device.
Sure.
Like,
Well, and I think for a lot of people, I mean, why would you buy something to do exercise inside when you could just go outside? It's
why do I
free.
need to walk trees when I can just go look at trees outside?
Yeah. The pine can just be what?
But it is
That's
a good
pretty
point.
good.
But I think buying some extra devices on top of what you already have. I mean, I think the most successful is probably some of the stuff that Nintendo's done with either the Wii or even the Switch has that Ring Fit game. Or
yeah.
Wii Fit when that was coming out. But I don't know how much people actually use those. Yeah, I give it a thumbs up for coming up with a neat way of doing it.
I do too.
Yep.
Did they sneak a commercial in here from Specialized? Oh, screw you. Innovation.
Well, if you ever wanted to have a nice piece of old, I don't know, 80s tech, 70s tech, you can now buy a decommissioned nuclear reactor control panel to put in your house.
I mean, I kind of want to talk about just how surprised this thing is in the photo.
It's
good
an old
call.
clock tower with a precisely placed window for all of our listeners out there, Casey.
Yeah, let's sit here. Here, let's blow it up for Big Dumb Casey here. And there you go. There's your shout out, as Silas wanted. How do I? No, I'm Big Dumb Matt. How do I share out my fucking screen? I always forget how to do this. It's always in a weird spot. There we go. Application window.
Except if anybody's listening to the audio version, they won't be able to see this.
Well, that's
Right.
their own
But
fault.
anybody watching it, look how surprised that thing is.
Oh!
This thing behind me.
It's leaning. It's falling over.
Do you know there's a nuclear power plant? Yeah, it's just all very surprising.
Well, it is surprising that you could buy this, because apparently it's only 100 British pounds if you want to buy the entire control panel.
Oh my, that's cheap.
That's like $10.
Matt,
You know,
about
this
designing
is
your basement
for.
room.
So you know they like there's guys that will build like the sim pit stuff for like their F-16s and their A-10s for flying. You just gotta buy this ahead of like one of those German companies is soon going to put out Nuclear Reactor Simulator 2025, and you'll be able to sell this big, marked up afterward. Like somebody's gonna want this to plug in and to go super hard on the role play.
So,
But you know what?
the
I can
bidding
also
has
see, like,
ended.
somebody-
Damn it.
Moving this thing though.
The bidding ended?
Yeah. You can't buy it anymore. You had to
How
bid
much did it go for?
Oh.
on- It doesn't say. It says the auctioneer has chosen not to publish the price.
Can
That's
I buy that
really-
really surprise steeple?
Sure. 100 pounds.
Well, let's start the bidding at 100 pounds. Hebeda.
If you want to place a bid, send your bid into councilcast@gmail.com.
Are there other parts of the nuclear power plant that are for sale?
This one person posts, we all know where this is headed. And then
No.
gave a subreddit post.
Are you sure?
Not yet.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's coming up next week.
Next week.
Next
Coming
week
up
you can
next
buy
week.
the decommissioned uranium.
The rods.
I think
Contaminated water. We've got all kinds of stuff for you guys.
Don't start it up.
why not?
I'm going through this Reddit thread, and this one was like, "Don't start it up.
Oh,
You'll start the next. You'll set off nuclear war or something. Like starting it up,
Yeah.
gonna release all the missiles."
Okay.
it's still connected to the plant.
It probably still has like Russian nuclear launch codes on it or something.
There you go. Because that's what that was for.
Yep. They launched them all from
Yep.
nuclear stations, nuclear power
Yeah.
plants. Didn't you know?
Well, that's what they're hiding them.
They launched one giant missile through that stack. That's what that
That's why
was.
they're hiding them.
You know, I don't know if this thing turns on. I'm going to give it a thumbs down because they don't show it running. So if it doesn't run, I don't want it.
I bet you could turn it upside down and spell hello. I'm going to say thumbs up.
Well, is your refrigerator running?
No.
So I don't know. I could see this like have been like a really cool thing that a filmmaker, like a film crew would have been like, let's get this so we have the authentic thing for 100 pounds. But now like that was my initial reaction, but now that I know it's like an auction, right? I guess collectors maybe, or like
Yeah,
like a really rich filmmaker who
Yeah,
just
we're
is like, I want this in my house.
Movie.
I'll bet Hollywood could make one
For
more
half the
cheaply.
cost.
They
Half
can
the
make one.
cost.
Oh
Actually,
yeah,
for
definitely. That
50 times the cost. They could make one.
probably.
Yeah.
Well,
Thumbs down for nuclear power plants.
you heard it here first. All right, we'll do our Elon Musk pitches for the week. We'll wrap this thing up. Who wants to start us off?
Um, I'll go, I guess. What was my pitch last week? Do you have that up?
Yeah, I can tell you. It probably wasn't as good as Logan's, but a Sharpie that the person who is written on can't see, but is visible to everyone else.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Wow, I have really great ideas. Okay. What I want is Elon Musk to create
I'd like
a
to.
hard drive that is this size.
I'll send
That
you
is 100 terabytes. That has read-write speeds of over 50 gigs. That's it. Nothing fancy.
50
Just that.
Read speeds of 50 gigs. Just 50 gigs.
50 gigs per second read-write speeds. I want there to be no bottleneck limitations except for the port with which you run the information out of.
Actually, even better is no limitations. It literally exceeds the port's limitations.
I want this to have zero limitations. I want when you plug this.
That is the number one feature, is that there are zero limitations.
I want when you plug this in to your
Zero
computer,
limitations.
it allows you to literally do anything because there are zero limitations. But it has to be 100 terabytes and
50 gig is
zero
per second.
limitations.
100 terabytes and over 50 gigabytes, no limitations.
And no limitations. What about 100 terabytes? Can it do more? Obviously, because there are no limitations.
It really just, possibilities are endless.
I want a limitless box, a box that you can plug into your computer and have zero limitations.
These are all reasonable requests.
It's kind of like a black hole for data, but in a box. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
He can probably do it.
If anyone can, he can. I bet if we ever got him to be like, to come on the show and be like, hey, here's our moment for Elon Musk pitches. Here, what do you think about this idea? Could you do this? He'd say, yes, absolutely. And we go, yes, Musk is making our thing. And then we'll think after the show to say, but wait, what was the timeline on his ability to make that thing? We never asked him that, and we will not know what it was, because
He'll probably say construction will go much faster once we've colonized Mars. We'll probably what he'll say.
Yeah, we got to do that to get the technology to do the thing that we want.
Mars has so much more technology than
But
us.
first, we must
sense.
build a construction site on Mars so we can build the thing you want there.
It'll be cheaper to produce it on Mars using Martian labor.
Exactly.
That's good.
I think I would like to have Elon. The problem it's summertime here, and as many people know in the Midwest, is you have two seasons. It's winter or road construction season.
Yes.
And I think that I would really like the idea of not having road construction. That I think Elon Musk should come up with a piece of equipment that can do everything in resurfacing a road all in one. You just drive this piece of equipment over the road, and it does the whole grinding, putting the new leveling down, putting the new material down, put the sealant on top. You drive over it one day, everything's done.
Nice.
I like it.
Who can argue with that?
I have a little bit of pushback.
Oh,
Nope.
apparently Silas can.
The only thing that I want to be different about this is I would really like for it to be attached to literally every vehicle. So as every vehicle is driving, it's replenishing the roads, so you never have to have a road construction season.
I
It's
thought
just
you were
like,
gonna say that you would like no limitations.
I was like, no limitation.
I really thought that's where you were going with it.
I should have. That's way better.
Can you imagine getting behind
We'll-
that?
we'll
machine?
edit
You know,
that
like
part
you get behind
out.
a snowplow and a snowstorm, you know how he's happy about it. But if you get behind the road making machine, that could be a long commute.
No, this thing drives at like it can do it at like 80 miles an hour.
Oh, sweet.
All right, I'll be
80
behind
miles
that.
per hour, no limitations. Got it.
That's
No
pretty
limitation.
fast.
Okay, so in the Star Trek universe, the Suliban are genetically enhanced, and I don't know how to share my screen, so I'm going to share this. So they have Can you see that?
Yeah.
They have compound retinas.
That's what you are pitching?
I'm pitching that he put a compound retina camera on a phone, which has like 50 lenses.
Compound lens camera. All right.
So
Compound
if you had like the
lens.
iPhone with like, do they put Retina displays on iPhones? Is that what they're called, or
Did
is it
you
only
see-
on?
Yeah, they're
See,
retinas.
every little
yeah.
dot
They
is a
call it
little eye thingy.
Oh my!
Compound lens camera on phones. Is it a
Yep.
flip phone?
Well, ideally, yes, but
Of course it is.
Y'all-
What good would it be if it didn't flip?
I'm gonna
and
share my
make the
screen with
noise?
you.
I
Yeah,
would,
you'd be able to share the screen if it were a flip phone.
I'm trying to figure out.
guys see me? Can you see what I'm sharing?
Tech savvy. This.
I like it.
I'm trying to figure out what the purpose is. I'm not sure what that gains me.
Well, it's not going to
gains
catch on
you-
your genes, and you're going to have like 50,000
That's
camera
right.
shots.
Doesn't catch on my jeans.
I mean, there are cameras out there.
It's-
There was a camera out
the
there
whole-
that was utilizing this exact technology, but it was a camera only. It wasn't a phone. So this idea is valid and new and good. What they were using it for was that they could create, I think they were doing like 50 or 100 megapixels, somewhere in there, images, because they would take all the cameras, like they had like 10 cameras, 15 cameras that were across the back of essentially something that was the size of a phone, cameras everywhere, and it would take a picture all at the same all of them would take the same picture at the same time with their different focal lengths. One was like,
Are you talking about the
24?
Lytro camera?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah,
so
but
they
Is
would
that,
also-
is that how this works? Like that then? Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
All
but
right.
then
I'm
there's
on board
also-
with that. Thumbs up.
There's also lenses that do infrared and do all. I mean, every lens does some kind of different thing. So once you take a picture, you've got
all the
100
information
different
you
options
need.
to see all the information you need. Yep.
I like that's
that.
that is
Does it have an
literally
X-ray lens too. X-ray.
I wanna see
Yeah.
that.
X-ray.
in the size of one little thing like this, right?
No, it would take the whole back
Yeah.
of the phone.
Well, maybe
Well,
right
it's a-
now.
It's a
we're
flip
asking
phone.
humans to do it.
Well,
That's a
Lytro,
flip phone.
yeah, Lytro was a little bit different. Let's see.
All right.
Okay, so I've got one, and I think it should be an AI assistant like Alexa or like Siri, but
Okay.
one that requires you to be polite and respectful and courteous to get any kind of information out of it. So you can't be an
What?
asshole to your phone telling Siri to screw off or something. 'Cause
Well,
she'll
that's kind of half the fun.
Who would do
get
that?
sassy and tell you, "Fine, I'm shutting your phone down." And then, it's just like having a mom with you all the time. Maybe it'll just teach the world to be somewhat
Oh,
respectful to the people
This
around.
would be a really good first phone to teach kids manners.
I thought this was an AI assistant. Is it also on a phone?
Yes, a
phone.
flip phone.
On a desk device, it's just an AI service that you can put on any technology.
It could be shaped like an elephant for kids.
Like
You can have it
Alexa
in their
or Siri.
room.
Any
I
technology?
like that.
All right.
And soon you could just implant it into like a robot, and then it can just live with you and be like your butler and tell you to stop being a jerk all the time. And maybe that would help most of our social problems.
There you go.
Sounds like entitlement right there.
What's that?
Robot butler.
Robot butler. This fall on Fox.
I like
Robot
it.
Butler.
All right, new TV show. Filmed with the No Limitations camera phone.
Oh,
like
100
it.
terabytes on your phone.
No
Flip
limit.
phone. With a
Everything
compound
has.
retina camera
There you go.
No limitations.
No limitations.
that only responds to kindness.
You can get 2 terabytes on a phone right now. We're getting close.
Close. All right, Matt, you got a pitch for us this week?
Nope.
All right, with that, we're going to call this council meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We record this podcast live Tuesday nights on YouTube, where you can come and watch us. Or you can check out all of our past episodes and the recordings on CouncilCast.org. You can also find us on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. Just search for CouncilCast. And if you have the council's, if you'd like a council's decision, you can send a topic to us at councilcast@gmail.com or connect with us on Twitter at RealCouncilCast. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.